Good afternoon. My name is Clark Brown, and I am a consultant and coach and an educator for the disaster and the restoration industry. And today I wanted to talk to you about a very, very interesting and unique education opportunity. I don't know that everyone has heard about this. So we've been doing this for a few years. Myself and Tom McGuire and several other collaborating instructors have collectively contributed to creating an incredible series of very unique, nothing like it in the world, education classes built around the best practices for running, managing, operating, consulting, everything on large losses. Not necessarily in the millions, but a complex loss for yourself, or a difficult loss, or larger than you normally would get. Generally commercial, but it even could be residential. So for many, many years now, Tom McGuire has created this ecosystem where we have a course, and it started out with the Large Loss Mastery Elite. The Elite class is specifically for contracting, scoping, and the estimating. And the unique part about it, the many parts, are Tom's experience with over 35 years in this industry on a very, very high level for some of the major players and the most unique and complicated projects in the world. He's traveled all over, has worked with just about everybody, has seen most of everything. And he continued to find that there's just no simple set of best practices for large loss. Most people do it the way they learned or someone showed them, but didn't always follow a logical and collaborative process. So he created the Large Loss Mastery Elite course. And so we've had the Mastery Elite classes for many years. Tom has been teaching those, and what's unique about the class, it's a 4-day workshop. So the first day and a half is working with you on the principles, the best practice, the education portion, giving you the resources, having discussions, and then you split up into teams with the class. And we're usually doing these on site at very high profile properties. For example, we often do them at the NASA Space Center in Cape Canaveral, the Superdome many times, Dallas, Texas Cowboy Stadium, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We just did a Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. It was amazing in Washington, D.C. So we have that. So we have 2 more elite classes this year. These are great for an owner or a project manager or an estimator or even a business development and salesperson. You're going to get an opportunity, or you may start pursuing opportunities to do larger losses. It's important to know that you can step in and have a good grip on how to actually win those business-changing projects by understanding how the rest of the industry does it. There's a lot of competition now. There haven't always been. But now we're just trying to level the playing field and give everyone a chance to do that. So you go for 4 days, and then you go out into the project, into the building, the structure, wherever we're at, and we build a case study around a certain loss. We create the parameters and the elements. Given the tools that you've had, you are to, within those guidelines, within that structured framework which you give, and you have tools that you take back home with you, you get a hard drive full of those, you're going to get with your team and present as if you were trying to win this job. So we've been doing this for years. It's phenomenal. People that literally have been there sometimes come back 2 or 3 times, sometimes because of the uniqueness of where it is, but they just feel like they could learn more the second time, and they do. They come back and they say, we completely took our second class or third class with a different mindset than the first one because of what we know now. We went back and applied some things, and this was it. So some people have been many times. Some people have sent their staff and said, this was great for me to go. I want someone else to be able to do it. So we saw another need to start a new class, to create something different. There is a part that comes after, and it's called the project management. We call it next because it literally is the next thing in line. Someone has won the project, contract has been awarded, great. you presented well, customer thought you understood the parameters, you can get them back open in business so where they can start creating revenue. But now we get into, great, but now I have to run this thing. And it might be several hundred people. It might have a lot of different complexities and a lot of different resources that you're not usually working with, subcontractors. What about billing that? We created a class called Next, which is a 3-day. It's on site, back at these same locations, but we used the past projects that were winners, said, here's the job. We're going to give you how to run the job with the production wise, communicate with all parties, because these jobs have lots of parties involved, and that's the part that gets a lot of people. You're going to have multiple layers of stakeholders, and some of them might not be there and on site. You need to know the best practices for communication, what they're looking for and how you can get it to them, how to invoice this, and then safety. Safety is a very large piece of this, and our friend Mickey Lee helped us put that together, the safety program for that. So this is an incredibly powerful second course. Next year we're going to have more. It's going to keep going. So this year we have left 4 courses. We have 2 elite classes left. So if the contracting, a lot of people weren't able to go to the, I know in my business I set aside a certain part of my budget with my company for education, self-help, improvement, building upon what I already know. I want to get better. A lot of people weren't able to do that this year, or they were doing a lot of things virtual because we had to. We did our own virtual. We did these classes virtual. They turned out okay and great, but it's just not the same as being collaborative with the team and putting these tools to use. So we've got 2 classes left this year. I urge you to take a look at our website. It'll be in the comment box below. It's largelossmastery.com. We have a class coming up, a workshop in Milwaukee at the stadium there, and we have another elite class. This will be our first time going to Atlanta. We'll be at the Georgia Aquarium. Very unique project. Animals are there. We're going to have to take some real precautions with animals, how we would dry that place. Got to look at some temperature situations, relocating some things. It's really going to be unique, and you really push the parameters. And then we've got 2 of the next class. We've just rolled out a few of those. We have one of the next class coming up at PRC in Los Angeles. Great facility, great. Pedro is an incredible contractor that has opened his building up to let us educate this industry, because he wants to see people really, really professional as well. And then the last one, we're gonna close off the year strong back at NASA, SpaceX, in Cape Canaveral with the next class. So this will be the project management class in Cape Canaveral. That one's filling up. They're all filling up pretty good, but that last one of the year, I think if it's not sold out, it's really, really close. And Atlanta is one that we're looking to get a few more people into. We like to have a good crowd there. It's not a lot of people. We're usually under 22 people. Any more than that, it gets a little bit much. So if this is something that's in your wheelhouse, if you wanted to add large loss to your company's repertoire, if you want to know how to best do it and be profitable, I've been doing it a very, very long time. I teamed up with Tom last year. I'm contributing. It's his company. I have plenty of other things I do, but I just believe passionately that we need to level the playing field, that everyone deserves a chance to get the best education they can. So I'm going to put a couple images in here, and then I'm going to have the link. Register for that. If you've got multiple people, reach out to myself or Tom. We're doing some things. If you've got a few team members that you want to go, we'll try to give you a break on some tickets, things like that. But it really, go to both. Get rid of that money before tax season. Get rid of it before the end of the year. If you had money set aside, don't play it in taxes. You can write it off as education. Go to a Next and an Elite class. Get the front, get the A and the B, and they go paired up really well together, and you will see how they connect. But other than that, I look forward to seeing those that have already joined. A few people are coming back to. A lot of people that have been taking the contracting and estimating and scoping, the Elite class, we're excited and anticipating the project management course. So they're now coming back or bringing their project managers with them. They said, we now can sign these jobs, and some of them have. They've gone back home, and it's like, we go into these jobs and we now have a really good idea to be very competitive with everybody else, and we know how to frame it to win that job. So now let's talk about how the best practices run that job and not lose money. So anyway, check it out, largelossmastery.com. Look forward to seeing you there. It's an incredible opportunity. There's nothing else like it. Nobody does this. Nobody sends you away with this type of education and the tools to do it. It's not a class where we're saying, hey, call us and let us come help you. We do that work, but we'd rather people stand on their own 2 feet, be independent, and build your company with the team you've got. So take care. Look forward to hearing from you.